Hello everybody and welcome to the first ever episode of the Mark II Burnley FIFA 19 career mode. The other Burnley career mode, you may remember, couldn't continue because somebody, me I think, foolishly put another save game over the top of our first Burnley career mode, so we lost that one. But we are going to try and go Mark II, and again we put ourselves into Europe. And our group stage draw picks us up against, this is the first bit of news from the career mode. By the way, we're playing on professional mode as before. Our draw is as follows. We have got Real Betis of Spain, AC Milan of Italy, Olympiacos, who we got beat by controversially in the playoff earlier this year in real life, and ourselves. So varied amount of teams there, so we've got to go to the San Siro twice, which I'm quite looking forward to. Really, that should be should be really good. Now we had obviously we had the International European Cup to go for, and we've got to play Stuttgart of Germany in our next fixture. Meanwhile, everyone was saying that Joe Hart was going to be good. He started in goal, conceded a goal, but we won 2-1, so that was an important one for us to do. So yeah, good start there, and we moved on to Wolfsburg in the second of our games, and Robert Harker, one of the youngsters, wanted a piece of the action, but we needed to put our strong side out, so we played our second game, in the second game, and won again 2-1. So 2 wins out of a possible 2, and looking very, very good at this moment in time. Then on top of that, we had an offer in from Stephen Ward from Besiktas. They offered 2.4, which was underneath our valuation, so we decided to decline that deal from Turkey. And then we played Bordeaux in the third final group game of the European International Cup, and again we won this one, not 2-1 like the previous couple of times, but 4-1, and it puts us into a semi-final with Cagliari, and looking good at that stage to win the tournament. We make our first proper signing of the series. Kasper Dolberg came to the club for £13.5 million, 20 years old, Danish player, comes from Denmark, and he's probably their new answer to Brian Laudrup, or to the Laudrup brothers, who were like the deadly strike force of their generation years ago. Maybe Kasper Dolberg, maybe the new Brian Laudrup. If he is, he's a very big shoes to fill, but we've signed him 13.5 million. I think that's a bargain for a young 20-year-old. I'm absolutely thrilled to bits and delighted about that signing, because I think he's going to be a marvellous player. We actually ended up winning the European International Cup. We beat Cagliari and we won in the final. I don't know who we beat in the final, but we won the competition anyway. I couldn't really remember who we won in that match, but yeah, good to make sure that we got Kasper Dolberg over the line. Great, I think he's going to be a great signing. And then we had a scout report on Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Kevin Long, we sold Phil Barsley, and we sold Kevin Long as well to balance the books. And then there was an offer from Derby County for 7 million for Tom, but Tom's going to be our number one, I think. Phil Foden, again one we looked at. Tom Davis from Everton, Adam Mola-Luckman, players that we were looking at, but we decided to have a go at Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and I like Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I think he's a fantastic player. If we could get onto the transfer hub, I think we were struggling to get onto the transfer hub at one point. There we go. There we are. Finally, fourth time I'm asking. Tom Davis, in fact, we were the one to go for. We thought he was a cheaper deal, but so he was worth about £8 million. So we go to the cutscene where we meet up with Marco Silva. So obviously we offer a transfer fee rather than swap a player, and we bid somewhere in the region of about £7.5 million. That's our initial bid, so just underneath Well, he said 7.6. Okay, there's a few extras on top of that, but at least it's underneath £8 million, and then it was all a question of trying to sort out a contract. And here we are, the other cutscene where the players and the agents. So important, that's what they want, young lad. So we give him important, and that's a good signal of intent. 5-year deal. I always try and look to sign players like Tom Davies on long-term deals, and 5 years is the best we can hope for in that terms. No release clause in the contract, so that's a fantastic bit of news. I'm not a fan of release clauses, certainly as far as my players are concerned. And then we offer him 50 grand in wages initially, and it works. So 50 grand, 5-year contract, can't go better than that. And Tom Davies becomes my second signing of the career mode series so far, and I think he's going to be a great addition to the side there. So there's the confirmation, Tom Davies. Number 8 shirt there being paraded, and I think he'll be a fantastic signing. I don't think there's much doubt about that. So Dolberg and Davies in for the door already. Then there was an offer for Ashley Westwood for £5.5 million, and it was exactly the same as his valuation, but we decided to negotiate because we felt we could get a larger deal for Ashley Westwood. So we go up to Manuel Pellegrini. We want to sign Westwood for 5.5, so we propose that we want a bit more for him, so we up it by $1 million, just over $1.5 million, 1.6 million over the asking price. But then when West Ham didn't want to kick up about rumpus, so we decided we'll go £1 million over the valuation. And Pellegrini says, okay, let's go, and I'll fresh out a deal with Ashley. So he's not getting any better in terms of what he can achieve and what he can statistically, Ashley Westwood, certainly on this game. And I think this might be a very good move for him in terms of the way he's in terms of the competition that now it's going to be, certainly in the central midfield role. And then Stephen Defoe was the subject of a £10.9 million move from Galatasaray. We rejected that and moved on accordingly. So yeah, Westwood in fact was sold. So we got, how much did we get for him? I don't know. Lindegaard, our backup goalkeeper, we got 4.8 into the budget. Sam Vokes was then a £10 million bid from Galatasaray, and we decided to accept the offer from the Turkish side. Now, I don't think Vokes is going to be one of our top strikers anytime soon, so it was a no-brainer really selling him, because I thought he was I'm sure he would have done well, but we had 3 of the same striker at the club, and with Dolberg now making it 4, well, Dolberg's got a bit of pace, he's a young lad, he's 20, he's raw. And then Nick Pope was the subject of an £11.7 million bid from Middlesbrough, and we were going to turn that down, because Pope is probably going to be one of our future players. So, as I said, it was tough going. It really was tough going as far as trying to keep all the players were concerned. No doubt about that. Now we're having a look at extra players that we thought we could bring in. We did look at 1 or 2 players. We were looking to try and take maybe from some of the bigger clubs in the Premier League, and I felt that we needed we needed some defence. Also, I felt we needed a couple of other players as well into the mixture as well. But we were looking through for players, and we decided to look at Manchester United, and we looked at defenders, what they could bring to the table. And also we looked at midfielders. I know Paul Pogba was probably out of our financial bracket, considering he went for 89 million in real life. And then we had a look at defenders, and we looked at Harry Maguire. Now I'm a big fan of Harry Maguire in real life. I think he's a good player. It all depends on how much Leicester would want to sell him for, or be prepared to sell him for. Excuse me, just having a little bit of a yawn there. But as I say, it will always depend on what his availability would be, and how he would go about it. And then we have a look at trying to add to the squad. So we have a bid for Harry Maguire. I like the look of Harry Maguire. I think he's a fantastic defender, and I admire him superbly. We meet up with Claude Puel. Remember, he's £20.5 million on this, so we bid 21 million. So we're going half a million over the asking price, but then they want 36.2, and I'm not prepared to pay that, certainly in season 1 of a career mode. So I said, look, my limit's 23.5 million. Take it or leave it. But Claude Puel wanted to stay at overpriced, and I decided, no, if you're gonna, I honestly thought he was wasting his time. If he honestly thought he was going to get £36 million for Harry Maguire, I felt he was very much mistaken. Oh, excuse me. I thought he was very much mistaken. If Claude Puel thought he was going to go back with 36 million quid, no chance in my book. So we have a look elsewhere. We put Michael Keane on alert, so we stick him in the hub. And we also look at Kurt Zouma, who is a very underrated defender on his day. And we had to work within our means and budgets. Burnley Football Club stipulates that, of course. And at this point, I was thinking, surely we've got to try and get some players in that could do a job. Now we looked at Kieran Trippier. I like Trips. He's a terrific right back. I felt sorry for him on Sunday when in real life when he missed that penalty for Tottenham, but well, we felt we had a chance. We did look hard at Loftus-Cheek, and we decided, well, 11.5 million is not a bad wad of money to pay for him. So we meet up with Maurizio Sarri, the manager of Chelsea, and we offer obviously a transfer fee, and we bid the asking. We bid 500 grand under the asking price. What they wanted there, 14.5. So no, I wasn't happy about paying that money, but I would try and get it down. So I got it down by £1 million. So I said, what, 13.5 million? Okay, and Sarah said, go on, then you can have him. And then we agreed the contract. Negotiations, the cutscene, of course, and well, we give him important. He's 78 rated, 22 years old, and he does look a very good player. And again, crucially, if he wants a 5-year deal, that's what I like. Any player that wants to sign a 5-year deal and he's good enough, I'm more than happy to sign that. I don't even know what the wage was, because I was looking away, but it was on probably a decent wage. They're probably about 78 million or 78,000 or something like that. But he certainly came in very good, and he became our third signing since I took over as manager, and he will wear number 17 for Burnley. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, the third player in since I took over the managership of the club on here. Well, we're now going to our first match as well. We've got to play Southampton away at St Mary's. Be a couple of debutants, I'm sure, in that one. So we're going to go straight over there as we just adjust transfer budgets a bit. But to our first match of 3 in August, and all games will be on this episode. Our first match of the season, as we have a real away test away to Ralph Hurdel's Southampton side, who are going to be no pushovers. So let's get over for the game. Well, Burnley start this Mark II Burnley career mode. John Stutzy in charge, and he opens up against Southampton, taking over from Sean Dyche, who got Burnley into Europe last season. Will be a tough act to follow, but John Stutzy for this Mark II career mode has signed some really good players, as you'll see in the lineups in a second. But we're going to go to Southampton first, and it's McCarthy and go Alex McCarthy. Then it's Cedric, Yoshida, Vestergaard, Hoyt, and Bertrand across the back. Then it's Højbjerg and Lemina in the two holding midfielders, and then Pepe, Gignac, and Elarousi. Gignac, in fact, making his debut for Ralph Hasenhüttl's side on a bright sunny afternoon here at St Mary's. Tremendous atmosphere for this game. So let's have a look at the Burnley side. Heaton gets the nod in goal, and it's Lowton, Tarkowski, me and Taylor the back four. In the midfield we see Gunnarsson, Loftus-Cheek making his debut, Stephen Defoe and Robbie Brady, and also another debutant up front, Kasper Dolberg, goes up front alongside Ashley Barnes. Tom Davis and Ben Gibson could make debuts off the bench. Well, first game of the season, going to be crucial. Burnley need to start off on the front foot. This is Loftus-Cheek. Good ball now to Brady. Oh, he did well to hurdle that challenge. Here's Barnes on the turn. And over the top it goes for a goal kick to Southampton. Good start though from Burnley, 8 minutes into the season. Nice little turn there, but just like the accuracy there from Ashley Barnes. As Alex McCarthy prepares to take a goal kick for Southampton. Southampton, of course, in the red and white stripes. Need we tell you, Burnley in all white, in an all white strip today. And it's a gorgeous looking strip as well as Dolberg plays the ball in. Barnes with a shot and a good save again by Alex McCarthy. Well, he hit that well again, Ashley Barnes. He's had a couple of good opportunities now, the man born in Bath, English by birth, but clear to play for Austrian due to family members, grandparents I think, as Gunnarsson sends the corner in, hooked away once more, and the ball this time goes out of play for a Burnley throw. Taken now, and it's Defoe. Taylor's got a bit of space on the near side. Goes for glory. Oof. Tell you what, he hit that with some ferocity, Charlie Taylor. Caught it well on the left peg. And the only thing was, it was not dipping enough, and it was rising as soon as he hit it. And that's not the best clearance. This is Kasper Dolberg. He's through now, the debutant. Barnes is waiting in intent in the middle. There is Barnes, and there's the first goal. And it has been coming from the word go here for the Clarets. And Ashley Barnes has got it. But lovely work here on this near side by Kasper Dolberg. And Barnes, from no more than 4 yards, nods it past McCarthy, who made the initial mistake with his goal kick, really. Didn't get enough purchase. He went straight to Dolberg and just bundled down the left-hand side. Played the ball in. And Ashley Barnes said, thank you very much. I'll have my first of the season. Southampton 0, Burnley 1. Ashley Barnes the goal scorer. Here's Pepe. Good ball in there. Gignac, who strikes it over the crossbar, the debutant. Big opportunity there for Southampton to get an instant equaliser. And Gignac, who's an experienced French international, former French international, can't get in the tie because of the likes of Griezmann and Mbappe. Maybe he couldn't compete in that sort of level, really, but he certainly did there. Big chance for them, and now at the other end is Ashley Barnes. So he struck that again, the Austrian, with some ferocity. Given an harder head of wood this afternoon, and he almost made it too, just wide of the target. Been a good first half, really, for Burnley. Barnes could have had more than the one he scored this afternoon. And that's another poor kick, and intercepted this time by Burnley. And Barnes plays it in towards Taylor. Now Dolberg, oh, he showed a nice touch there. Dolberg shot. Well, I'll tell you what, it was so close there, Kasper Dolberg. Got it onto that right foot, and he hit that with some ferocity, but it was rising all the time. Going to stoppage time now at the end of the first half. Here's Dolberg again. Oof. That was a save and a half for the cameras by McCarthy as the half-time whistle actually goes here. But a fine first half performance from Burnley. Gignac had a chance for Southampton but didn't take it, but Ashley Barnes has had 6 chances but he has scored, and Ashley Barnes after 16 minutes gives Burnley a half-time lead. Half-time, Southampton 0, Burnley 1. Tarkowski. Oh, straight to Elendusi now. Big chance here for Gignac. Good turn by him. And he can't find Roll Prowse, and in the end, Burnley got away by Elendusi now. Gignac! Oh, what a chance! And Gignac will know that this was a glorious opportunity. Hit it well, but didn't hit the direction. And, in fact, it just missed the angle by an inch or two. And Southampton will feel a little bit disappointed about that, as Burnley about to make a substitution. Southampton have made one, as off comes Loftus-Cheek, and on comes Jack Courtley, ex-Southampton man. McCarthy has made a whopping 7 saves in the game, which shows how Burnley have been so dominant. Højbjerg has also come off for Southampton, incidentally, and Romeo has come on for the Saints. But it's Burnley now with the ball, and it's Ben Mee. Strokes it beautifully to the right hand side, and Lowton will go forward. Tarkowski joins the attack here. James Tarkowski going for one, but it's well over the top and not troubling McCarthy too much, with a good try by Tarkowski. Here's Cork going up to the final 20 minutes. Jack Cork got a little deflection on the shot. That I may have caught it all wrong, actually, to be fair, Jack Cork. But Aaron Lennon's prepared to come on, and he's going to replace Johan Berg Gudmundsson. So in retrospect, it's like for like, right winger off and right winger on. Lennon for Gudmundsson. Now Cork. Less than quarter of an hour to play. Burnley need that insurance policy of a second one. Here's the 4. Good try off the post. Dolberg! And the flag stay down, and Burnley go 2 up, and it's Dolberg's first of the game and of the season. And he's first, of course, in Burnley colours. The 4 had the first effort. Beat McCarthy all ends up. The ball rebounded off the post, and Dolberg says, "Thank you very much. I'll claim my first of the season and my first in Burnley colours." Southampton 0, Burnley 2, with 10 minutes to play. We're playing deep into stoppage time now, and it's just a question now of playing out the motions here. Burnley on course for 3 points, and Dolberg did very well. Persistence almost paid dividends there. Oh, and that should have gone in but didn't. Well, it didn't cross the line. Going technology will see to that as the final whistle goes anyway. Not that it would have mattered in the grand scheme of things, because Burnley were running out comfortable winners by this point anyway. Gignac had a couple of great opportunities to score for Southampton, but goals either side of half time from Ashley Barnes after 16 minutes, and then Dolberg after 79 minutes were the real difference in this game. And John Stutz's reign as Burnley gaffer gets off to a fantastic start away from home at St Mary's. The full-time score here at St Mary's, it's finished here. Southampton 0, a rampant Burnley 2. And what a cracking win that was. For top of the table, 1 play, 2 goals, none conceded. Can't get better than that. And our new strike force have hit it off straight away. Kasper Dolberg and Ashley Barnes, both off the mark. That's pleasing to see, really, because I felt really on terms we were superb. Bottom 3 are Fulham, Liverpool and Southampton. Everybody remembers played 1 game each, so that was always going to be crucial. But no, very impressed with our performances so far. I thought Southampton were going to be a tricky little bit of opposition for us, but having said all that, I thought we did magnificently well and coped with it tremendously. Spurs had a £10.9 million for Chris Wood rejected by us, as we still sort of strive to improve perfection on the field as well as off it. But I was really impressed with the way we were trying to build the team. We were scouring around to see who we could bring in, who would be suitable players to bring in, and we were batching around to see what we could find. We were looking at Adam Owen Lutman, and then we were looking at Michael Keane, and then we decided to go back away from the transfer hub and see what else there was out there on the market, which is always a very difficult one to do when you're Burnley manager. I don't think there's much doubt about that. So we are looking for our centre back. So obviously to cover Tarks or me, or should one of the two actually get injured, I think that was always going to be the acid test, really. And we looked at a lot of individuals: Nathan Aki, Alderweireld, Balbuena, Willie Bonney, Britos, Kreel, Callum Chambers, a good young prospect, Connor Cody there as well. So many really nice players there that potentially could do a real job for the Clarets. And we were looking around, and you know, it's very difficult when you're a team like the Clarets that are not going to have the financial restraints as an Arsenal or Manchester United or a Chelsea or a Liverpool. They're never going to have that in real life, and well, so we had to make sure that we could attract players on good wages. We did, as I said, we did look around to try and get the best deals that we could realistically get, because you know, you don't want to be in the realms of fantasy football. But we did have a look around and tried to get the best players for the guest players, and which everyone has to do, I suppose, and when you look at it logically. But we did look for players, and oh, I've just lost me mic again. But it's never going to be easy. We scout Marcos Rollo as well. You know, he's been a decent act for Manchester United. As well, and there's so many players that we're looking at doing: John Stones, Davinson Sanchez, but we needed to sign players. Jack Stevens was one that we were scouting for, because he does look a good player in the making at 24 years old. And in actual fact, Jack Stevens did sign for us, and we got him for a decent price as well, £8.8 million, which isn't too bad considering he's only 24. Still plenty of great years of his ahead in the game ahead of him. I think he's a fantastic little signing. And Southampton will be kicking themselves. They've accepted £8.8 million, because I felt, you know, if he's built up, he would be at least £25 million of anyone's money. But that's me just being biased now, because I'll have the opportunity now to train the guy up and see how he does, and really make sure that he performs to his complete optimum. But he did look a really good player, potentially really good if trained up properly, and I'm really buzzing about that signing. So that becomes our fourth, I think. Is it third or fourth? Signing fourth, I think. Yeah, we signed Loftus-Cheek as well. So yeah, marvellous. So we put Anders Lindegaard on the transfer list. Adam Leskins has got to go on. Although I would be half tempted to actually get rid of him on a free. So we had to look through, see what we could find, because there was going to be some players that we needed to get rid of and try and balance the books somewhat and cut the cloth accordingly. But 4 signings so far this season was nothing to be sniffed at. One very good striker, 2 very good midfield players, and I was a centre back, and I was quite pleased at that moment in time that we were getting a good, decent little squad together, and we were always, you know, we're always on the strive to look for more and look for perfection and do better. Adam Leskins was put on the transfer list, so our next match really was going to be a tough one. Javi Garcia's Watford was our next opponents. Really good players, as we just look at the scouting reports for Zuma, Keane and Trippier, but we can go back to those after the game, because we're going to now switch our attention to the turf and to a game against Watford. Watford lying in 8th place, we're lying top. Can we keep our good win going against a very good Watford side? Let's go over to the Turf. Well, Turf Moor buzzing for the first home match, and the first home match of John Stutz's reign as Burnley manager, and he gets a good reception, him and his new look team, as they step out onto the field. And this is their lineup, the same as before. Heaton in goal, Milton, Tarkowski, me and Taylor picking themselves as the back four. Then it's Goodmanson, Loftus-Cheek, Defoe and Brady. And it's the same team that beat Southampton last week, because it's Barnes and Dolberg who both got goals in that win up front. What about Southampton? What about Watford? Foster in goal for them. And then it's DeMarcos, Cathcart, Casabelli and Zeglar in the back four. Hughes, Quina, Clevery and Pereira. And up front, Delafeu and Deeney. So the referee about to get this game underway. Burnley in claret and blue, Watford in the yellow and black stripes, the being like strips of Watford, the Hornets they call themselves these days. His Barnes goes for an early shot and turned away by Ben Foster for the first corner of the contest. Nice turn this by Barnes. He was on fire against Southampton. Could have had more than the one goal he got last week, and he almost added to his tally there this week. It's the first corner of the game, and it's Goodmanson to take. 4-5 in the penalty area for Burnley. Goodmanson with the corner in there, but it's knocked away. It'll come for Ben Mee, who tries to volley it, and the ball goes over the top for a goal kick. Dolberg, Goodmanson. Now Barnes, will he get there first? Barnes! Oh! Tell you what, that wasn't far away. Well, we've had 38 minutes gone in what's been largely forgettable first half. And Ashley Barnes there so close to giving Burnley the lead. Well, they've created so much of the game so far. I mean, we've had 8 shots to 2, and it doesn't tell the story. They've been a bit wayward and off target a little bit. Here's Kasper Dolberg. Dolberg, oh, beauty! You don't see them hit better than that from Kasper Dolberg. 1-0. Pick that out. 5 minutes to half time, and Kasper Dolberg with the outside of his left foot has just bent one in past the despairing dive of Ben Foster. This was a marvellously worked goal, and it was in from the moment he left his foot. What a moment for Dolberg to claim his second of the season. That's goal of the season material already. 1-0. Wow. Well, Watford fall behind, and this was not what was in the script. This is Troy Deeney now for the Hornets. Down cleverly. And Deeney making a good run. Delafeu is through. Oh, what a chance for Watford. And they know that was a glorious opportunity there. Troy Deeney laying it into Delafeu, who just couldn't keep his shot down. And Watford will feel they should have taken that chance. We're into stoppage time now. Delafeu. Oh, he's through to Deeney, and a big moment here for Deeney. Danger here. Good save, Heaton, but Deeney will not be denied. And Deeney makes it 1 each. Delight for the Watford captain, and Watford are back level. Well, he went right through the heart of the Burnley defence. There's the shot. Well saved there by Heaton. He did everything he could, the Burnley captain, but his opposite number, the Watford captain, would not be denied. And on the rebound, on the follow-up, he had an empty net and makes it 1 apiece here at Turf Moor. Wow, what a time to score right on half-time for Troy Deeney, and the Clarets will be disappointed there. They've let the lead slip, and right on the stroke of half-time too. Goodmanson trying to lay it in there towards Barnes, but he can't get there, and the referee will bring that first half to a close. So a little bit of a disappointment there for Burnley, who took the lead with an extra set missile from Kasper Dolberg after 41 minutes. But deep into stoppage time and the end of the first half, Deeney scoring at the second attempt after his first effort was saved by Heaton, and it makes it a very interesting second half now. Half time here at Turf Moor, 1 apiece. 3 minutes into the second half. 1 apiece, remember. Here's Barnes into Loftus-Cheek. Good effort. Oh, what a save. What a save that was from Ben Foster. Look to go all the way here from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. But Ben Foster had to scamper across to claw that one away. Palm it away for a corner. Gudmundsson to take. That's a good curl in there. Dolberg's header. And this time, no danger for Watford this time from the set play. Dolberg winning the header. A 17-18 yards out, maybe a little bit further in than that, but still a little chance there for Burnley. Maybe half a chance when you look back at that, really, but Burnley will be a little bit miffed that they're pegged back at 1-1 here, but one thing you can be sure of, that Burnley will get chances when this, as long as the second half goes by. Defoe trying to lay it in there to Barnes. Ooh, good tackle there. It'll come for Dolberg. Who can hit him. Oh, what a save. What a save by Ben Foster again. 2 saves in 5 minutes. This time Kasper Dolberg hitting the shot, and Foster had his eye on it all the way. Now that's a good ball. Now Barnes. He's got Gudmundsson running on the far side. Gudmundsson now for Burnley. Oh, lovely control. Gudmundsson! 2-1. That's a magnificent goal for Burnley. And Gudmundsson takes the applause. Cuts inside one. Then takes another out of the game, and he hits a shot that just flashes by Ben Foster and into the top corner of the net, into the top left hand corner of the net. It's a marvellous goal for Burnley, and they take the lead for the second time in the game. Johan Berg Gudmundsson, what a moment for him, and Burnley now lead by 2-1 as Jack Cork replaces Ruben Loftus-Cheek for the remainder of the second half. What a goal that was. Well, Jared Bowen replaces Will Hughes as Watford look to try and get back into this game again. And Burnley about to make a change. Stephen Defoe, well, he's done well to last 68 minutes. So Tom Davis now, young lad, signed from Everton, Scouser through and through, an Everton boy as well growing up. And here's a man that whose family come from a family of Burnley fans. Tom Eaton with the early kick. Little game of head tennis. Dolberg on to Tom Davis. First real chance to see what he can do. Here's Tom Davis all the way. Oh, magnificent goal. What a way to get your first goal for Burnley. Tom Davis makes it 3-1. And the fans loved it. Davis twisted and turned, got through on goal, and then just smacked a fantastic left-footed shot, I should say, past the despairing dive of Ben Foster, who almost got a glove on that, but he just didn't do enough. And Burnley now, after an uncertain period, are now pulling away with it. Davis, with his first goal for the club, has made it 3-1 to the Clarets. Well, we're coming towards the end of the game. Here's a chance for Barnes. Oh, what a wonderful goal. Aye, Ashley Barnes puts the icing on the cherry on the cake. 4-1. They'll be singing aye, Ashley Barnes in every Burnley pub tonight. Look at that. Gets it out of from under his feet and then just smashed it in with the right foot. Then the goalkeeper gets a hand on that, but it's just too powerful for him. And it really is turning into a rout here with a minute to go. Barnes is second of the season, and he just couldn't keep him out the picture, could you? And John Stutzy loved it as well as Tarkowski has come off. Well, it's been a virtuoso performance from Burnley, apart from that last couple of minutes before half time when they conceded one. Dale Stevens comes on incidentally.
The referee has indicated there will be a minimum.
As Barnes kicks it forward, and here is Barnes, and here's Dolberg. Burnley looking to finish with a 5th one and almost did through Kasper Dolberg. That would have been some goal if he'd have pulled that one off from that sort of range. Burnley are on their way to victory, and they play well to get it. I don't think there's much doubt about that. I've scored 4 decent goals, 1 an absolute extra set missile from Kasper Dolberg. Tom Davies getting on the act as well. There goes the whistle. Well, it was a 4-star performance from Burnley, who were really running on 4-star this afternoon. They were just irresistible. 4 magnificent goals. Watford replying with one themselves. It was just unbelievable. Dolberg getting in there to score, and then Gudmundsson making it 2-1 in the second half after Deeney had equalised before half time. Davies with his first goal making it 3, and then Barnes at the end making the final score. Burnley 4. Well, that was you can't get more emphatic than a 4-1 result, can you? Kept us in second place. We played 2 games. Chelsea have just played 3 at the moment. So we played a game less than Chelsea, so that's why we're second, but we're on maximum points. Man City are 3rd, Everton 4th, Spurs are 5th, West Ham are 6th, Palace 7th, sorry, Leicester in 8th. As I say, it's early season, we've only played 2 games, and there's going to be a heck of a lot of football played in the next 36 games before the final shape of the league table is secured, but I was very intrigued by the start, although we did concede a sloppy goal towards half time after Dolberg put us in head, and then we conceded to Troy Deeney, a goal that we should have stopped really, but didn't. With that said, we fought back well, and Dolberg's beginning to be every bit of the £13 million as I thought he would be. He's been worth every single penny at the moment, and I've been very impressed by the way he's gone about his business so far, and it's good to see that. And I was impressed really the way that he played, and in that match I thought he didn't look out of place. Home debut, proving to be a bit of a hotshot at the moment, and just too good for a Watford side who should be okay this season, should stay up, all being well. Look very, very good, and on another day they could have had a couple of goals themselves, so no qualms about that then. Right, now we move on to the final match of the episode and the final match of August, and we've got to go to Craven Cottage. Newly promoted Fulham are the team that we're visiting today. Fulham not starting as well as they would like. They're not in the top 8 or 9, so it was a tough job against. It was going to be, even though they're not one of the top teams, they're going to be a tough test with any areas manager. He'll always have them sacked up for any game, and this is always going to be a tough ask. But we had to respect Fulham, and in the end, it turned out to be a decent game, and they did give us a game as the highlights of the game now will demonstrate that Fulham were not there at Craven Cottage when we visited to make up the numbers, as you'll find out right now. Well, it's all happening here. 2 wins out of 2, and Burnley look to end August with a real bang. And it'll be interesting going into that transfer window what they could indeed pick up. But they've got a tough task against a Fulham side that will show no mercy. This is their lineup with Rico in goal. Then a back 4 of Fosu, back to back 5, Chambers, Bilic, Mawson and Bryan. Johansson and Seri are the 2 holding midfielders, and it's Scherer, Vieto and Sessegnon up front for the Cottagers. Let's look at Burnley straight away with Heaton in goal for the Clarets. Same back 4 as before, Moulton, Tarkowski, me and Taylor. Same midfield foursome as before, Gudmundsson, Loftus-Cheek, Defoe and Brady. And up front you've got Ashley Barnes and Kasper Dolberg, people that can really set games alight. So away we go then at Craven Cottage, a very sunlit Craven Cottage. It's been quite sunny for Burnley's first 2 matches at Southampton, and the turf ball one against Watford where they won 4-1. Here's Lawton. Burnley need a Italian cloak and blue, Fulham in the white shirts with dark shorts. Lawton. Here's Dolberg. Oh, he's been better than what he got last week. I think that's eclipsed the one he got at Turf Moor last week. Brilliant from Kasper Dolberg. 1-0 to the Clarets. And this was an epic, a classic, and an even better goal than the one he got against Watford last week. Hit this down first time on the left foot, and it curls past Rico before he can even move. Kasper Dolberg. 4 minutes gone. Burnley take the lead in quick-fire style. Dolberg's got a third goal, incidentally giving Burnley the lead, but here come Fulham. Vieto. Big chance for the Cottages. Vieto! And they might not get a better opportunity to test Tom Heaton than this all day. Past two defenders. Shot came in, but it was wide of the target, to the frustration of most Fulham fans around the stadium here at the moment. We've had a couple of minutes. We've had 43 minutes. We've got the last couple of minutes now, and we could be in for a frantic finish. This is Shirley now for Fulham. Ball playing into the penalty area, but it's hooked away by Burnley. But Sari now to Johansson. Shirley, good football, and a chance there for Fulham. A little deflection on the shot in the end, and well, Burnley will feel they did their jobs. Yeah, hits the inside of the thigh there. Fulham have a corner in front of the Burnley fans. Seri to take on the near side. Seri with the corner, and it's all there, and a goal! It's one each. What a moment that is for Fulham. And it's Ryan Sessegnon who rounds over to Claudio Ranieri and embraces his manager. It's 1-1 at the Cottage. Seri's corner, and he got in front of every Burnley marker. Got up between two static Clarets defenders and nods past Tom Heaton before the goalkeeper can really set himself to dive. So Burnley will feel very, very annoyed that they've conceded right on half time, and in fact that's the second goal this season they've conceded. And Ryan Sessegnon has made it one apiece and really puts Fulham back on song. But remember when Watford came back to 1-1, Burnley went on still to win him, but being held here at half time, the Clarets. Kasper Dolberg bettering the goal he got last week against Watford to put Burnley ahead, but Ryan Sessegnon right on the stroke of half time has put Fulham on terms here. Half time at the Cottage. It's Fulham 1, Burnley 1. What a first half. Here's Loftus-Cheek in the second half. Still Ruben Loftus-Cheek. There's a deflection on the shot and just wide with 7 minutes of the second half gone. There's Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Here gets his shot off, and he just gets a little deflection there off the defender, which just takes it past the far post. Could have gone into the back of the net, I suppose, but Burnley will be thankful for that, as Sessegnon, the goal scorer. That's just 53 minutes, and Alex Iwobi now will come on to replace him, man they got from Arsenal. Gudmundsson's corner then for the Clarets, being held here at 1 apiece, but Burnley still every chance of coming away with 3 wins out of 3. It's good. Oh, and Tarkowski's header, and he'll feel that was a chance wasted there, James Tarkowski. Good corner this from Gudmundsson, and Tarkowski just wide of the far post. Unlucky. But the 4's come off, and Davis has now come on as the goal kick is taken. Here's Loftus-Cheek. Held that up very well. Here's Kasper Dolberg. Here's Robbie Brady. Big chance here. He's past one man. It's Robbie Brady. Good tackle. Look to all intents and purposes that Burnley were going to retake the lead here. Robbie Brady did really well to get it onto his right foot, but the deflection took it out for a corner. And Gudmundsson with it in there, and the header won, and it was Tarkowski with the header. And this time Rico was equal to the challenge, but his goal kick wasn't a good one. Here's Ashley Barnes to Loftus-Cheek. Lining up one shot. Oh, what a save again by Rico. Well, that's probably redeemed himself from the poor kick out originally, which led to this chance for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Right foot drive. Going in the top left hand corner. And Rico dabbing away to his right. Made a stunning save. But Burnley aren't finished yet. 73 minutes gone. Gudmundsson has got plenty in there, and the ball whipped in, and Dolberg had scored! Dolberg will claim the goal for Burnley. They go back in front. Well, this is certainly one for the dubious goals committee. 2-1 for Clarets, and here's the corner. It's definitely on target, although it does come off Forsu Mensah, the former Manchester United man, last. But that's on target, surely. It's got to go down as a goal, but it's going to be an own goal, I'm afraid. Forsu Mensah has scored an own goal. Well, that's doing Dolberg a disservice there, having that goal taken away from him by the dubious goals committee. The shot coming in, and straight at the goalkeeper. Here's Gudmundsson. We're into the last minute of the second half, which we're now playing the 90 minutes. Johansson, Joe Bryan, Paul. And Davis easily cut that one out. Barely on the cusp of 9 points out of 9 here in the Premier League. Here's Iwobi though. Good skills from Alex Iwobi. Cross comes in. Series underneath it, but Davis brings it away. Surely now we've played the stoppage time, but here's Brady. There might be one last chance here for Burnley. He's got 4 to his right. Still Robbie Brady. Oh, and the ball was poor, but it did not matter anyway, as the whistle goes here at Craven Cottage. And that was a battling, hard workmanlike display from Burnley. They took the lead through Kasper Dolberg's extra sec, and then the equaliser came to make it 1-1 for Fulham. It was Ryan Sessegnon, and Dolberg should have had 2, but he had it taken off him by the dubious goals committee, who have decided to credit the goal as an own goal to Forsu Mensah, and that was the winning goal and gives Burnley the share of the spoils. Fulham 1, Burnley 2, the full-time score. And that was a really workmanlike battling performance. Won it 2-1, great performance. And we're going to end August top of the table, joint top in fact, with Manchester City and Spurs, who both have 9 points. But we've got a far superior goal difference over City and Spurs. So that's brilliant. So that's good news. Chelsea are fourth with 7 points. Then Everton with the same points, but outside on goal difference. Leicester City behind them, and Crystal Palace. So 4 teams on 7 points. Then West Ham with 6 points in 8th place. So no, very encouraged by the start of the season, and it was good to see really that we were battling away. That defeat for Fulham leaves the Marine in the bottom 3, and Liverpool haven't taken a point yet from 3 games, so that's concerning for Jurgen Klopp, who is signing real life or going for the league title. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the first episode. I hope very much you enjoyed it. We are going to transfer the full-length matches, where we'll feature Manchester United, Wolves and Real Betis, our first European match for over 40 odd years. But from me, JB, take care. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button if you want to know first about any upcoming content, and I'll see you for the next episode very, very soon. Take care. Ta-ra now. Bye bye.